The Stoic path to tranquility. Anger, a powerful emotion. It can consume us, it can control us, but we can control it. The Stoics, ancient philosophers from Greece and Rome, knew this. They taught that virtue is the only good, and that virtue is about controlling our emotions, not letting them control us. This essay explores how their wisdom can help us overcome anger, find lasting peace within ourselves. Meet John, a man on fire. Imagine John, a hard-working man devoted to his family. He tries his best to be good. But John has a problem. He has a short fuse. Traffic jams, rude comments, even spilled coffee make him angry. This anger hurts him. It's hurting his relationships. He wants to change. He's looking for a better way. He discovers Stoicism. The idea of controlling his anger resonates with him. He decides to give it a try. First steps towards control. John finds himself in a quiet moment, seeking to understand the foundations of inner peace. John begins with the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control. He discovers that this ancient philosophy can offer answers to modern challenges. We can't control everything that happens to us, the Stoics say. This idea resonates deeply within him, like a truth long ignored. But we can control our reactions. John begins to understand that the key to inner peace lies in this simple but powerful distinction. This idea is a revelation for John. He realizes that much of his stress and anxiety comes from his desire to control the uncontrollable. He realizes he has given his power away to outside circumstances. Reflecting on his past, he sees how many times he has let events dictate his emotions, letting outside events dictate his emotions. He begins to practice taking that power back. John decides to practice mindfulness and keep a journal to track his progress. When something frustrating happens, he stops. He gives himself a moment to think before reacting, remembering the Stoic teachings. He takes a deep breath. This simple action allows him to recenter and calm himself, even in the midst of chaos. He reminds himself, I can't control this situation, but I can control how I react to it. This thought becomes his mantra, a guide in difficult moments. But I can control how I react to it. Over time, John notices a change in himself. He becomes calmer, more resilient and more at peace with himself. By continuing to practice these principles, John discovers a new inner strength. He learns that true control lies not in dominating events, but in mastering oneself. The first steps towards control are not easy, but they are essential. John feels ready to face life's challenges with a new perspective, armed with Stoic wisdom. He now knows that every day is an opportunity to practice self-control, to grow and to become the best version of himself. Trial by fire. It's a powerful metaphor for the times when we are faced with intense and unexpected challenges. John's journey is not easy. Every day he wakes up determined to overcome the obstacles that stand in his way. One day his boss unfairly criticizes him in front of his colleagues. The words are harsh and the humiliation is palpable. John feels the familiar heat of anger rising within him. His face turns red, his fists clench, and he feels his heart beating faster. His first instinct is to lash out. He wants to yell, defend himself, and give as good as he gets. But then he remembers his Stoic training. He has learned to control his emotions and not react impulsively. He takes a deep breath. He closes his eyes for a moment, focusing on his breathing to regain his composure. He analyzes the situation rationally. He asks himself why his boss is acting this way and what might be causing this anger. He realizes that his boss is having a bad day. Maybe he's under pressure or has personal problems. His anger begins to dissipate. He feels his muscles relax and his mind clear. He responds calmly and professionally. Instead of reacting with anger, he chooses to respond with understanding and empathy, transforming a potentially explosive situation into an opportunity for personal growth. The calm after the storm. As John continues to practice Stoicism, he notices a change. He is calmer, more patient, more understanding. He still feels anger, but now he knows how to manage it. He uses his Stoic principles. He avoids situations that trigger him. He practices mindfulness and meditation. He focuses on what he can control, his reactions, his responses. His anger no longer controls him. He controls it. The enduring lessons of the Stoics. John's story is a powerful example of how Stoicism can help us overcome anger. John, a successful businessman, was facing personal and professional challenges that often left him furious. He discovered Stoicism and began applying its principles to his daily life. By meditating regularly and reflecting on his reactions, he learned to master his anger and find inner peace. The Stoics teach us that it's our thoughts, not events, that cause our suffering. By changing how we see events, we can transform our experience of life. For example, instead of seeing a setback as a source of frustration, we can see it as an opportunity for growth and learning. This perspective changes everything. We can choose how we interpret and react to situations. Acceptance is key. By accepting what is beyond our control, we free our minds from unnecessary worry. This doesn't mean we should be passive, but rather that we should focus our energy on what we change. For example, if we lose our job, we can choose to see it as a chance to find something better suited to our skills and passions. We must accept what we cannot control and focus on what we can. This approach allows us to live more peacefully and make better decisions. By focusing on our actions and reactions, we become more resilient in the face of life's challenges. For example, by focusing on improving our skills and attitude, we can better navigate difficult situations. Virtue is the only good. The Stoics believe that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the quality of our character. By cultivating virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, we can achieve a state of lasting happiness. These virtues guide our actions and help us live in harmony with ourselves and others. Living a virtuous life, guided by wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, leads to true happiness. By practicing these virtues, we develop an inner strength that allows us to face life's challenges with serenity and confidence. Wisdom helps us make informed decisions. Justice guides us in our relationships with others. Courage enables us to overcome our fears. And temperance helps us maintain balance in our desires and actions. By integrating these principles into our daily lives, we can achieve a state of inner peace and lasting fulfillment. Your journey to inner peace begins now. John's transformation is an inspiration to us all. It shows us that change is always possible. We can all learn to manage our inner anger. We can find peace within ourselves every single day. The principles of Stoicism offer a timeless and valuable guide. Start your journey today, don't wait. Explore the wisdom of the Stoics and their teachings. Discover the power of controlling your emotions and thoughts. You too can find lasting and profound tranquility.